Oh, what is up, everybody? And welcome to Studio Day Heffrey for your dose of Cowboys content. And I will mention the Mavericks today and apologize to people. I really thought they were going to beat the Warriors. Have I changed my mind now that they're down 3-0? No. Yes, I'd like to apologize. I'm a big stupid head. I'm an idiot. I asked people for questions on the Twitter about Cowboys, Mavericks, whatever. I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm here for you. And I got a bunch of Cowboy questions from you guys, which I appreciate, and we'll knock through those bad boys and we'll have ourselves a lovely time. How does that sound? Of course, per usual, my partners at Bet Online continue to be the number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Don't bet on the Mavericks, okay? You hearing me? Just don't. Find all the latest odds, news, sports developments for the NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, fights, NFL futures. Bet Online, your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and the fan favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's easy to get started. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up and use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Let me say again, don't bet on the Mavericks. Just don't do it. Hello to the chat. Hey, Kilgore. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, Jay Versich. Appreciate you, brother. Cowboy questions I got from people. Wow, that's a Maverick question. Devin had a great question. It's not about the Cowboys. How do clean towels get dirty when they're only used on a freshly cleaned body? The guy named Dammit Man responded because a starfish is a starfish. No amount of soap can change that, which makes me wonder if Dammit Man is like flossing when he dries off. Do you guys go full towel into the crease? That's something I didn't know about. I think you did the same video title. Oh, I forgot to change the freaking. That's bad for business. That is bad for business. Details. I forgot to edit it and say that we were doing a video. So the last video's title is what people are going to see. I'll change it when we're done. Who cares? People who know, and they're here. That's what matters, damn it. CD season. How many rookies will get significant snaps this year? Cowboys draft class. Tyler Smith will get significant snaps this year at left guard. Sam Williams is the wild card. Your second round pick, the edge out of Ole Miss. If I had to guess, he's not a starter. He's more of a third down pass rusher as a rookie, but I bet he plays a decent amount of snaps. It's a second round pick. Second round picks are expected to, in a lot of cases, start, but second round picks are expected to contribute. Third round pick, Jalen Tolbert, South Alabama wide receiver. He'll play snaps. He'll play a bunch. Jake Ferguson, Wisconsin tight end. He's got a shot to be your number 2 tight end this year, ahead of Jeremy Sprinkle, and ahead of don't worry, I'll think of his name. Ahead of Jeremy Sprinkle, behind Dalton Schultz, Sean McEwen is the other name I was looking for. I think Jake Ferguson has a shot to be your TE2 and play a decent amount of snaps. Outside of that, no. John Ridgeway, maybe. 5th round pick, nose tackle, defensive tackle. Maybe. Kilgore doubling down in the super chat. Party at Jeff's fun. You definitely jinxed them. I didn't jinx the Mavericks. They did this to themselves. I can't play the game for them because I'm terrible at basketball. If it was a different sport, I could go help. I didn't know Reggie Bullock was going to miss all of his shots. I didn't know the Mavericks after game 2, where they couldn't hit any shots, were going to be hesitant to pull the trigger on 3-pointers. I didn't know those things were going to happen, okay? I didn't know. Did you see the beginning of game 1? It was a good matchup for the Mavericks. Dwight Powell should be able to be efficient in this series because they're not big. You're as big as them. You should be able to rebound better. You should have the bodies to throw at Steph and Clay. It's not my fault the freaking Warriors are stupid good. Not my fault. Booty Nasty on Twitch. What's your prediction for the starting front 4 on the D-line? All right, tell me in the chat what you think it's going to be. Tank Lawrence is your left defensive end. Neville Gallimore is one of your defensive tackles. Man, if I had to guess today, it would either be Neville Gallimore and Carlos Watkins as your defensive tackles, with Watkins at the nose, or Neville Gallimore a little out of position at the nose and Osa as the 3 tech. And then at right defensive end, boy, that is a fun battle because Dorrance Armstrong is the one whose paycheck says he's the starter. Dante Fowler is a Quinn guy that will be in the mix for that job. And then Sam Williams is a second-round pick. I think it's boring, but I will say Dorrance Armstrong, Osa, Neville Gallimore, and Tank Lawrence. You said they were going to sweep. Now they're getting sweeped. The word is swept, sir. That's okay. That's okay. It's already a successful season for the Mavericks. You knocked off the 1 seed with an incomplete team. They're not done. Nico actually knows what he's doing. Nico's going to build this thing. It's going to be good. He got the KP contract off the books. That didn't even make them better, really. Might have made them worse. And they knew that because they feel like they can move those contracts and then actually try to build something. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Sweeped. Sweeped, the man says. Where are my other questions? Name one front office person in the league that's less qualified than Stephen Jones. Where'd Dave Gettleman end up? Where'd he go? Where'd the Colts former GM, not the current one, where did the former one end up? He's terrible. Who will be our wide receiver 2 at year's end? Wide receiver 2 at year's end. Michael Gallup. Be patient. Give Jalen Tolbert some time. CD's wide receiver 1, Gallup's wide receiver 2, Tolbert's wide receiver 3. Might get 2 or 3 years of that combination, and I'm excited about it. Daniel, hey, Jeff, I remember you saying that the Cowboys were going to make moves after the draft. What's the holdup? Well, I thought they could make moves after the draft, but instead of making moves after the draft, you know what the Cowboys did? They just drafted for need so that they wouldn't have to do free agency after the draft. They went ahead and drafted their left guard, 2nd or 3rd round player in the 1st round. That's what they went ahead and did. So yeah, they still could. Like in the chat, tell me what do you think they should still add in free agency? Your offensive line is Tyron, Tyler Smith, Biotish, Martin, Steele. If you wanted to add another swing tackle to throw into the mix with Josh Ball and Let's Go and whoever. Well, Let's Go. That's a pretty sweet name. Defensive line, if you wanted to find me a nose tackle that's still hanging out there, I'd be interested. Linebacker, maybe for numbers, but they're bringing in a bunch of young dudes. You've got Van Der Esch and Jabril Cox fighting for one spot. Jaron Kearse plays some linebacker, Micah Parsons. Everybody thinks linebacker. Hey, Jeff, do you want to work at the ticket? No. If I do radio, it will be on my terms the way I want to do it. And that's not impossible that could happen. But I don't think it'll be at the ticket because the ticket doesn't hire people from inside the market. They think that they're not worthy or something. A lot of good dudes at the ticket. I have a lot of friends over there, but they ain't trying to hire a dude that didn't start there. Tommy Buster, OBJ. Give me OBJ for the fun of it. Ndamukong Suh? Sure. Deion Jones? I don't know if that's a fit. What's his money going to look like? I have to go watch how he was last year. J.C. Treader, if you wanted to go get a safety, yes. Thank you, Clayton, for telling the people. Everybody make sure you smash the thumbs up button. What percentage of snaps do you think Sam Williams will have by the end of the season? I will say Sam Williams will play 30 to 40% of the defensive snaps. That'll be my guess. Because you will be working in a rotation that involves Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong over there. I'll say 30 to 40% of the defensive snaps. That's what I'll say. My other questions from the tweeter. Will the defense regress and will the run game improve? I'm going to go yes and yes. The defense will likely regress because that's just how the NFL works. So much of your defensive ranking, and I know people hate this, but a lot of your defensive ranking is how good of offenses did you play and how did they play that day? Now, obviously, if you are out there making a great play on the football and intercepting it, if you're knocking if you're forcing a fumble, if you've got 11 all pros, yeah, you'll have a better defense than somebody who doesn't have as much talent. But that's just the way it goes in the NFL. Like the Cowboys forced 30 something, almost 40 turnovers last year. And I went back and looked. All of the teams who led the league and had forced that many turnovers the very next year with mostly the same players, they all drop off by like 10 to 20 turnovers. There's a level of randomness to defense and to turnovers. So yes, I anticipate that the defense will drop off. And yes, I anticipate the run game will get better because it can't be that bad. The second half of the season, Cowboys were so weird. Next time you go out with Vach, Dave, and Skywalker Steel, bring the mics. We need it. That's a lot of work. I'd rather just drink beer. But shout out to those guys. If you don't follow Vach Lombardi, Skywalker Steel, or David Hellman, you're doing Cowboys wrong. You are missing out on people who know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. Realistically, what big-time name do you see the Mavs signing next season? None, because the way the salary cap works. I think they will keep Jalen Brunson. They will try to move Dinwiddie, Bertans, maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. They'll make some things. I'd get a Mavs guest on here at some point. Although, you know what happened if I get a Mavs guest on here? A lot of people who are in the chat right now will be super mad at me. They're like, bro, Cowboys, only Cowboys. That's the fine line I have to walk, and it's hard. Scoutcast anytime soon? Hope so. Saw Vach the other night. We need to do one. I'm proud of Vach. Dude's out there killing the game. That's my guy. How about them Mavericks? LOL, LOL. You know what? You can leave. Not really, though. I appreciate you being here. I need the views. Got to get more consistent getting back on my YouTube grind. But it's also like there's a balance there where I'm not going to fake it. If there's nothing to talk about with the Cowboys, I'm not going to do it. But we're creeping back towards Cowboy season because the Mavericks, when they lose one more game, are going to push us right back into Cowboys. See, only Cowboys. Yep, only Cowboys. Go Spurs, go. Jacob, back off, pal. Back off. Other Cowboy questions. Let me see here. Will we make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons for the first time since like 2007? Yeah. Yeah. Barring a quarterback injury, yes, the Cowboys will make the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. My guy Mike Crum, in Dak's last full season pre-injury, he ran 52 times for 277 yards, 3 touchdowns, 19 first downs. That was a Pro Bowl year. Last year, 48 carries, 146 yards, 1 touchdown. Do you believe the drop-off was injury-related, and how important to team success will his ability to scramble be on this team? That's a good one. Sucks that I waited this long into the video to talk about this, but there's 2 things that I want to talk about there. One, yes, of course, it was injury-related. Everything about the Cowboys' second half of the season last year was Dak injury-related. It coincided with teams playing the Cowboys a certain way, where they said, we're just going to cloud up passing lanes. You can't block well enough and run well enough to make us pay for a light box, which that part is as alarming as the fact that you had a quarterback coming off of shoulder in camp, shattered ankle, then calf strain. Dak was gun shy. Dak was in a weird place. Dak didn't play well the second half of the season. If that continues going into this year, then we'll start talking about the Cowboys quarterback spot. But until then, we won't, because that's silly. So, yeah, everything that happened to the Cowboys offense was Dak injury related. Absolutely, positively. Because the way that you could have made teams pay for what they were doing is Dak take a drop, and as soon as he hits the bottom of his drop, take off running. Take off running. Take off running. I don't think he wanted to. So you need healthy Dak. You need healthy Dak, and then it'll be okay. The other thing about the running game is this is going to be – I don't believe in the hot take radio and just talking crap about everybody and like, oh, a bunch of stupid head idiots. Like the Cowboys do a pretty good job of drafting, developing, being competitive, getting into the postseason. They're not bad at this. They're pretty good at this. So in general, like I just don't do the scorched earth thing, but this will be a really important year because the Cowboys have intentionally gotten worse at right tackle, intentionally gotten worse at wide receiver. And they drafted a guy that a lot of the league would have considered a reach in the first round. So if Tyler Smith doesn't play fairly well as a rookie, that's going to look bad for the Cowboys. If Terrence Steele struggles, it's it's going to look bad for the Cowboys because you didn't have to get rid of Lyle Collins. They wanted to. You didn't have to get rid of Amari Cooper. They wanted to. If those turn out to be bad decisions, that will be the scorched earth time for the Cowboys. And I still won't scream or yell. But this is big for their front office. How does Terrence Steele play? How does their passing game go? How does Connor Williams play in Miami? There's a chance Connor Williams is a better player than Tyler Smith. The reason the Cowboys want Tyler Smith and not Connor Williams is because if they're going to have a guy that struggles, they have the way they want them to struggle. They want to get – they know, even the players know this, because you remember leading up to the San Francisco playoff game, I remember Jaron Kearse talking about it and some other guys, and like Jaron Kearse plays mean. He plays with an edge. But the players hated hearing how tough and physical San Francisco is, but then San Francisco went out and proved that that's what they are. The Cowboys this year, we're going to make it a priority to get mean, angry, nasty. So Tyler Smith might not be all around better than Connor Williams as a rookie. But Tyler Smith will not get pushed around, will not be light in the butt. That's what they wanted. They wanted angry sons of biscuits, dogs, if you will. Arf, arf. William Reeves, I appreciate you being there in the super chat, brother. You left before the jersey giveaway last night. I'm sorry, Larry. Did we win? I was sad. Tyler Smith will be developed better by the boys. There's nothing about the Cowboys offensive line coach that makes me think he can develop an offensive lineman. The guys that you're going to try to give him credit for developing for, he didn't develop. They work with a coach in the offseason that's helped them develop. Joe Philbin, I believe, is a nice man. I do not believe that he develops talent or that he should be the offensive line coach, just the way it is. Jeff, are you going to see the new Top Gun? Yes, on opening night, matter of fact. We got a crew going. All right, that's what I got today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Probably do some more gardening today. Tommy Buster. What about Tolbert? What about Tolbert? I like Tolbert. Tolbert's going to be good. It's going to be a nice 3-receiver set for the next 2 or 3 years. It's going to be good. All right, let me end this so I can go fix the title. And you guys remember that you have no idea what anyone's going through. And remember that this was brought to you by my friends at Bet Online. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your sign-up bonus. You have no idea what anybody's going through, so be cool to everyone. I love you.